Hello friends, we are about to start. A quick recap, this is the Sunday webinar. We're going to go through, maybe spend like some 30 minutes looking at a few cool things. What I'd like to cover today is the W3.CSS Templates and Flask. So it's if you know this stuff, this will be boring to you, but just kind of going through the concept of these really cool templates along with Flask, which is also Flask and Python Anywhere, which are all phenomenal tools for anybody who likes data, anybody who likes to work in Python, and anybody who likes to build things, especially if you are limited by your Jupyter notebook because you want to have maybe more of a conventional UI, more of a conventional product. This is definitely a very powerful tool. Hi, Onir. Thanks for saying hi. We're gonna look at the W3.CSS templates. We're gonna look at Flask and Python Anywhere. And this is all this stuff is free. So welcome to the Balamel Show. My name is Manuel Amunategui. I hope the sound quality is okay. If there's any issues, please let me know. You will find this video will be classified under video channels and under data science. And if you click there, you'll see all my other videos, including live webinars that are related to the topic of data science. And actually, no, I'm sorry. This is not going to go into data science. This may go into web applications. Sorry, because we're really talking about web apps here more than data science. And please sign up for my newsletter right up here, so you can get updates on my material, as well as get access to my classes. I do when you sign up, you do get my Create Free Web App class that is sent to you. Okay, let's get going. So W3CSS templates is from the W3SS school. This is a phenomenal resource. I use it all the time. And whenever you're learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, even Python, they do everything. And it's always this this try it yourself tool. So you type it, you hit try yourself, and then you can do things live and you just hit run. And you'll see, this is the title, so we're not going to see this go live here. And then you see it appear here. So they have all these very interactive, very great tools. But one thing I'll show here, which I really like, and let me open a new window here because I have it in is the HTML color picker. This is phenomenal. So if you like a Photoshop style color picker with with the eyedrop, unfortunately you're not going to see it here because it opens another window, and I'm using OBS as a streaming software, and it it controls what window you see, what window you don't see. So, but basically you click on HTML5 right here, and you're going to get this really cool color picker, and you can pick anything, and it'll tell you the exact color, and then you'll have the color scale. So if you're like me, you dabble in design, but you really stink at it, this is a great tool to make sure that things are in harmony, and make sure you're dealing with the exact colors. So that's really cool. I mean, it's phenomenal. I mean, the more I dig in this site, I've been using it for years, it just keeps getting better and better. But here we are today we're going to do the templates. And if you haven't, if you don't know what a template is, these are starting tools. So if you're looking to build a website and you want to start, with a correct template, a correct HTML skeleton that has really good CSS and is fully responsive, meaning that if you'll be able to see it, it'll look good on a phone, it'll look good on a tablet, it'll look good on a computer with an enormous screen. It's always going to look good. So that's what hi Jose, thanks for saying hi. So really powerful templates, and you just go to just Google W3CSS templates and you'll find it in Google, and you can pick any theme you want. So all of these themes are things you can use. Some are for travel, some have these kind of image carousels. So they're all very thematic. You choose the one that's closest to what you need, like a CV template with a picture. And I'll do a very brief demo here we'll tie this band template, the first one, to Flask and to Python Anywhere. So the way you check it out, right, it's very simple. It's straightforward. You hit the demo button, and here you see what it is, right? So it looks like this, for promoting bands, promoting artists. You even have a little calendar tool and a kind of like a pricing template of some sort. So a contact page. So you get all that stuff automatically, and if you like it, It's super simple. You simply right-click on it. There's different ways to do it. The easiest way is simply to right-click on it. You're not going to see my right-click again because OBS is not showing that. And you do View Source. And here, all you have to do is copy the source. And what I love about these templates over like HTML5UP. HTML5UP is another great source of beautiful templates. But HTML5UP, when you download them, you're going to download, here, let me just pull up HTML5UP. These are beautiful too, and I've worked with them plenty of times in the past, and I've done videos about them. These are maybe more sophisticated free templates as well. You go live demo and you see them, they're really good looking. But the difference is with these templates is you get everything you see in that template is contained in one single page. On HTML5UP, you'll have the whole thing. You'll have the static, the images folder. You'll have with the separate files for the CSS. It's really, it's really professional. This one is really just quick and dirty. So you simply, copy, cut and paste, right? And there you have this enormous. You have basically this entire page is here. The only thing you don't have are the stock pictures, and we don't really care about that. So let's build this in Python Anywhere and with Flask. Okay, let's build this one out into our own site. So that's super easy. Quick word about Python Anywhere. If you don't know about Python Anywhere, it's a phenomenal cloud hosting service. I'm not affiliated with them. I don't get any kickbacks or anything with them. I mean, I wish I did. I use them. I have like probably 3 or 4 paid instances with them. My site, ViralML, it's running on Python Anywhere. It's just the easiest Python-based cloud provider I've seen. It's better than Google's App Engine. It's better than DigitalOcean. It's better than Beanstalk on AWS. It's just super. It's just really geared for Python users. So this is pythonanywhere.com. Here are the prices. So your normal tiers are not free, but if you dig a little deeper, meaning if you scroll down, you get the beginner, which is entirely free. So you can click there and it's free. There are some limitations, obviously. There's a limit of size, limit of traffic. There's some of the pages that you can't access everything because some stuff is white. You have to have special. They won't let you access it. So for my own sites, I use paid accounts. But the one I'm using right now, this account you're seeing is a free account. Okay, so this is the dashboard of Python Anywhere, and it's a free account as well. So you'll see exactly the same thing. And the way you start a website on Python Anywhere is super easy. You click that web button in your upper right. I'm going to click it. And this is how yours should appear. It says you have no web apps. So you say add, you click the blue button, add a new web app, okay? You can't add a domain name on your free tier. You have to upgrade, right? So we're going to skip. And then you can, you have all these frameworks you can choose, Django, Web2.py, Flask, Bottle. I'm going to go with Flask. And I'm going to go with the latest version of Python. I'm going to go with this. And I'm going to go with all the defaults. It's like a wizard. It's actually going to spin the instances in the cloud and install all the good stuff that you need in the cloud. And then you can hit this button right here. This is your link. This is the free link. So in my case, I'm going to take it.pythonanywhere.com. You click on it, and that's your real link. It's a real link. This is live, right? This is my site, and my site is showing hello from Flask, right? That's a completely useless site, but the beauty is that they've set up everything for you. So where are these files? It's super easy. To find out where it is, you scroll down. Let me just show you two or three good things here. The WSGI, right? The server gateway file. This is where this is what points to your source base where you're hosting. So we're gonna go there in a second. If you see errors, you go here, the log files. You have the error log, server log, access log, all that good stuff. You keep scrolling down. This is a phenomenal resource here. You can do the HTTPS certificate. It's a plugin. It'll do it automatically for you, so you'll automatically get for free HTTPS, and you can force all your traffic to go HTTPS, which I would recommend doing. I'm not going to mess around with it because this is a free demo tier account. But everything you need to do really a solid, safe site out there on the internet. So let's see where the code is. So this is from their wizard. So I'm going to click on my Wsgi configuration file. That's kind of the glue between the physical server and whatever you're serving with, and we're serving with Flask in this case. So it will tell you, oh, this is where my file is. It's at home / I'm going to take it home / my site. So then you go to your files, the little hamburger here on your upper right. Let's go to files. Go to my site, right? It was my site. I want to take it my site, and here is the file. Okay, and here it is, right? Hello from Flask. So I'm going to change this to say hello from ViralML. Save it. You have a little refresh button in your upper right. I'm going to click that. That's going to automatically refresh it for us. You have to wait till it's done. And then, you can just go to your website. So amunategi, so in my case, it was amunategi t dot, I think it was Python anywhere. I'm going to type it to see if I can get there. No. Or maybe I need to do HTTPS. Hold on. Nope. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go back here. What am I typing wrong? Let's go web. And let's see if I get the same thing here. Oh, I think I was mistyping it, but the I instead of the T. That's fine. Here it is, right? Hello from ViralML, right? But this is live. This is really on the web, so this is the real deal, right? This is a free web server. It's pretty cool, and it's Python based because we're running Flask. Okay, so let's remember now we had that code base, right? Let me go back here. This is the code base, right? This is the HTTPS, the W3.CSS template. It's called the band, right? The one we just pulled. I got the source code. I'm simply going to copy it all. I'm going to go back to my Flask files. So this is your flask_app.py. This is the brains. This is not what's going to hold your HTML. So to hold your HTML, you need to create, and if you're familiar with Flask, it will be familiar to you. You need to create a templates folder with an S at the end that lives underneath, your Python Flask controlling. And we're going to call this one. Let's just call it index.html. I'm going to call this and this is handy new file. Basically, you have your own, this is really cool, your own editor right there in the cloud. So you could be on the beach running your website. I'm going to paste the code exactly like we had it from the W3.CSS templates. You hit the save button. So now, right, it's not going to work because our Flask file is not pulling it's not pulling that file, right? We need to tell the file that, hey, instead of just returning the string hello from ViralML, we want you to return an actual template or web template. So there's a few things we need to do. We need to add a few more libraries. This is not going to cut it, right? We just have Flask. We need Flask. We need request. We're actually not going to use request here, but we definitely need render template. And if we have time, I'll play around with the date time just to show something dynamic. And this we don't want either. Here we want to say return render template. Basically, you can copy this. This is what we want. And you simply pass it the template name. And remember, we named it index.html. And that's it. This is that's all you need to do. I'm going to save it. I'm going to refresh it. Right? I'm going to basically refresh the web server. This is important. Let me make this a little bit more formal here. Whenever you change anything on your live server, you need to refresh your web server, right? We're going through a web server. The web server is going to cache things, and you want it to be able to be dynamic. So I just hit the refresh button. Now I'm going to go back to my website, right? Remember it said hello from ViralML. I'm going to hit refresh, and look at that. Hi, Luis. Hey, from Chile. Hola. Nice to join. Thanks for joining us. So here we see, right? We have the band website, right? So the band website now is on my local, on my instance, my own instance of Python Anywhere. So here it is, right? So remember, it looked like this. It looked like this. Let me close some of these windows. It looked like this. So it's the band, right? And it's now running on my own instance. So the only thing you don't get with all these both HTML5 up or W3CSS templates, they don't give you the stock photography, but we don't care, right? Who cares about the stock photography? We're going to be replacing it with our own stuff, but everything is there, right? Your buttons are there. It's going to, you got all the forms, the contact me forms. All you got to do then is wire the stuff you need, and what you don't need, just throw it out. So this is really cool, right? This is incredible that we've got all this for just copy and pasting the W3c templates in our own Python Anywhere instance, and it works, and it's Flask based, right? So I can do some dynamic things. I could show the time. I'll show you that in a second. Let's pull up a picture in here, okay? So I can show you how that works, because there's a little bit more setup that we need to do. So I think if you go here again, I think the first one, when you refresh it, it's got a cycling. It shows LA, right? So it's the Los Angeles picture is the first one to show up. So let me let's go and fix this here. So there's a few things you need to do in Flask. If you're familiar with Flask, this will be familiar. But the one thing, the way they're pulling their images, right? Let me find the image here. Here, right? they call W3 images la.jpg. We can't do that, right? In Flask, it's usually static / images / whatever your image name is, right? So that's what you normally put in. And actually, I have another image, so right now I'm gonna change that name because I think this is the first image in the I guess it's a world time zone map thing. This is the only image I have on right now. I wish I had something cooler, but that'll do the trick, right? So it's static images and the image name that you have. That's the correct the correct folder paths. So now we obviously need to fix our paths, right? So let me go back to my site. Remember, here we have templates, which is holding our HTML file. So let's add a static folder, a singular, underneath an images folder, plural. And it's going to be spelled exactly like that, right? This is very picky on this. And here I'm going to upload that image. There, it's there, right? So in theory, now I'll go back to my web server. Let's go through the big green button, right? We just changed a bunch of stuff, the code as well, and we uploaded an image. We're going to refresh it, so that refreshes your server. Tells the web server to dump the cache and to serve out a new copy of our website. Let's see if it worked. Woohoo! Okay, it worked. It's not great, right? Because they had a dark picture and it's cycling, right? Cycling through the pictures, and I only have one picture. So you can see, right? So that says LA, right? So it's obviously totally the wrong picture. You need a dark picture for this, or you have to change the font. But I just wanted to show you that part. Let's do something else. One last thing. And if you have any, look, it's cycling now. You see the map. This is actually I had a code base for to show how to get time. So let's do that. It'll be a way of proving that this is dynamic, right? What's the whole point about having Flask? You don't want to be using Flask. Well, you could to serve static pages. I've done it before, but really you want to serve dynamic content, right? So let's pull the time. So let's see. I got this code here. I'm going to pull this variable called UTC time. And it's going to get the datetime UTC. So this is going to pull the server time, right? The time on the server on Python Anywhere. I think Python Anywhere is actually in England, I think. But they serve like a lot of these web servers. I think they usually go with UTC time, universal time. So we're going to go with universal time. So now we have a variable, right? It's a datetime that's cast to UTC. You don't have to do that because I think it's already that. And then we're going to pass it as a string because I want to format it a special way. I don't want to have the milliseconds and all that stuff. I want to be semi-clean, semi-simple. So now we have a variable. So if you want to pass your variable to your template, you simply hit comma, right? And you pass that variable equals variable, right? So that's how you do it, right? So now we're actually going to be passing this variable to index.html. So if I ran that and saved it, nothing would happen because we're passing it, but it's not doing anything with this UTC time, right? It's going to be just dropped into thin air. So we need to do something with this. So then you go back to your HTML file, right, which is right here. This is that templates index.html, and we can put it anywhere we want. So let me just go back to the original, the band here. Where could we put it? Let's put the time. Here, where it says the band, we'll put the time there instead of the band, or instead of we love music, we'll put the time. Okay, so let me just find out where that is. Let's go back to the code. Let's go we love music right here. So I'm going to remove this, and the way you handle a dynamic variable from Flask is you open double curly bracket. You put the variable name, in our case it's called UTC time, and you close double curly bracket. It's that simple, right? Okay. And in theory, we're going to get time, and it's going to be dynamic, right? That's what's cool. So let me just refresh it. This time I'm going to go with the refresh, the little blue button here on the upper right. Wait till it's done. It's reloading the site. It's reloading the web server. Okay. So let's see. I'm hitting refresh. Okay. Scroll down. Look at that. Now we got UTC time. It's 7:20. So let me 7:20 and 10 seconds. I'm going to hit refresh. And 2020, right? 20 seconds. So this is live. This is live then. So this is how you would do a live dynamic. You'd be serving a live dynamic content using Flask. So this is super easy to do. And honestly, this is what I did with this site, this ViralML site. So if you follow my site, you've seen that it changes almost every month. I do is true. I try new templates. I move things around because I'm never very satisfied. I'm still not satisfied with this. I think it's just not it's not super intuitive, and I get people I got some positive comments from a viewer who said, hey, I was interested in your school. I went to the school, I couldn't see anything, I couldn't understand what the pricing is, I was blah blah blah. Right. So obviously there's still a lot of work needed there. So you know, and so it's a work in progress. Same thing with the video channels. It's not super intuitive, but this is an actual template from W3C schools. This template here, you see, it has these little cubes. So you see it even better if I go to, for example, to let's go to finance here in my video channels. Oh, sorry, no, that's the wrong one. That's actually an older. That's a HTML5 up template. Let's not go in that one, which is pretty nice too. Let's go to the blog here. The blog where you see all these cool, right? You see how it's all responsive, right? You change it, it will pile in 2 rows or in 1 row, or 1 column, 2 columns. If anybody has any questions, please ask, right? Acrylic, hello. If anybody wants to ask any question, go ahead, huh? So I can show you which one this is. So let me go back to the W3 templates. And I think the one I chose was, I think it was this one. No. Nope. Here it is. It's my portfolio, right? You probably recognize that if we compare with my site, right? It has these little windows, and it has that bar on the left. I wanted a bar, and if you view this site on the phone, right, this disappears, and you see the usual hamburger in the upper left corner. But it was this guy right here, right? And there's some really crazy ones, like, you know, some very minimal. There's some there's one I saw the other day, and I'm doing a class with it, where there's a whole travel template, which is really cool. Here, the social media template. This is a phenomenal one. This I need to do something. I haven't done anything with it, but it's basically the analytics template. And look at this. This is all. Look at that. It's just so badass, right? It's just all this analytics, cool charts. I thought this was really cool, right? This is definitely, we could definitely use. It definitely wants us to do a project with this one. And here it is, right? You have the apartment rental template, and you also have the hotel template, right? Which has a calendar tools all built in. So really powerful, right? Really cool. And this is exactly what I use here at Viral ML, right? These templates, and you know, they're just great. And I even, you recognize, right? There's a subscribe. That's all from W3.CSS. This is the contact me. I just changed a few things, and I always, of course, I make mention at the bottom. I don't know if you can see at the bottom. You may not be able to see it. Let me just see if I can resize this window a bit. Here, maybe you see it now. But I want to thank them. So of course, W3CSS I thank, and my other one here. Let's go to the video channels, which is the HTML5 up ones. Those two at the end. If I scroll all the way to the bottom, I thank them for the design. This HTML5 up requires you to do that. Here, right, this is HTML5 up. These are great, beautiful, free templates as well. But they do require you, when you go download, I'll show you, it says, hey, check out whatever. It says, if you can do, if you want attribution free, you got to pay $19. Otherwise, you got to put attribution. That means you got to say, hey, thank you, for using this, and you have to point to HTML5 up. So that's how it works. Here they don't tell you to do that, but I'm just doing it just because I think it's really cool, and I want to make sure they get the backlinks. They get the backlinks. They get all the any bennies they could get from from my traffic. They deserve it. So really cool. So this is W3schools.com. So I'm gonna wrap it up. If there's no questions, I want to go and kind of cut it. It's just not babble more than 30 minutes. Just a few things. Let me just zoom to the top here. Here. One thing I want to announce here is the school, right? It's slowly shaping up. Like I said, I got some good feedback. If you guys have feedback about stuff that doesn't make sense or that's ugly, I really appreciate letting me know, because I'm not a designer, so, and I do all this myself, and people tell me like, hey, I have no idea what the price is or what's going on. So what I'm showcasing right now is these tracks are fairly well developed, and I already have quite a lot of students who joined these two, the machine learning track and the market analysis track. And one I'm just opening now, I'm still finishing it up, is the Intrapreneur track, and I'm really excited about this one. Let me make this a tad smaller. This one has, this one is really about prototyping launching and growing your online presence. So there are 3 courses in this track. The first course is the MVP. It's my book. I'm also launching a book at the same time, the MVP Light Stack Field Guide. And here you'll learn how to, all these things, these tricks about using templates, how to hook up contact forms and use, for example, SendGrid, a great service that's super easy with Python to be able to get two-way communication with your site, and your visitors can then communicate to you. We'll do Discus. We'll do, of course, Stripe payments, Stripe subscription. We look at all that stuff. We also do 2 case studies with a little bit of like machine learning, and we also do the weather API. The grow, this is really everything I've learned over 5-6 years, and that's the lessons I've learned about growing a brand, starting a newsletter, writing content, getting a lot of feedback, doing things like I'm doing right now, doing webinars, being available for people to answer questions, because you want people to have a chance to tell you, hey, this really sucks. Well, I don't like what you're doing. I don't understand it. Right? You need that feedback in order to make your products better. And this is what I've been working on the weekend. It's part of a new class I'm building. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's actually, you can go there right now. Let me open a new thing. It's not made for the web. It's made for mobile phones. But you go to motv.io, and it's it's better to be on a phone, but it's a quote machine. So you can and it uses sentiment analysis, so natural language processing, and you can swipe either way. So I'm on a web browser, so I'm not going to swipe, and you can go darker in sentiment, and it's going to keep, and there's probably like 300 or so quotes. I love quotes. I'm always on Twitter. I'm always posting quotes, so now this whole class will be a hands-on, where we start from bringing an idea all the way to a polished mobile-ready web application. And this is what this whole thing, that the whole class is. Where was it? Right here, right. I'm still filming. It's not ready, but definitely check it out. So I have one question here. Thoughts on Webflow or other no-code HTML editors? So that I don't know, to be honest. I'm definitely a person that codes by hand. And I'm even worse than that. I'm a person that likes to take stuff from web templates. So I like, so I can't give you advice on no-code ones, but my advice is to people who don't want to code, but you still have to be familiar with, HTML is easy, but if you're not a designer, if you're not an artist, you don't have great ideas with colors like me, I prefer to take templates that are already done, and there are tons of these, and you should find really exactly what you need, right? They're kind of following a little bit the whole WordPress mantra, where there's a plugin, there's a plugin for anything you want. Well, there's a plugin also in the HTML5 world where you can roll your own. So unfortunately, no, I can't give any advice on an HTML editors. I tend to take from already done as much as possible, on these kind of sites, or HTML5 up, and Stack Overflow, right, and code. Because my problem is really acrylic. My problem is that everything I do, and yeah, I'll show you this, right? This is kind of things I'm interested in, and I do. Go to tools@biolml.com, right? These are my little free SaaS web apps, right? These you need to be able to code to a certain extent to be able to pull this off, right? You need to be able to have this is really for me, it's really, how can I take my Python code and make it work on the web as a product, right? So this is analyze your title. You put a title in there, and it's going to compare it against Amazon's bestsellers. It's going to compare it against the top clapped articles on Medium. They were Kaggle. They released like millions of titles. So I took that when I did my own EDA, and that's what these tools are, right? So I basically want my fairly complex. This is actually pretty complicated machine learning, but I want it to work on the web so anybody can use it. So this, obviously, I have to roll my own. I need to code that stuff myself. So, hey, any other question, guys or gals? If there is nothing, this is going to be recorded. I'm still not entirely sure what next Sunday's webinar, but I'm going to try to have these every Sunday. Make them casual, just highlight a few cool things. Maybe something else, with templates, or even do some simple simple machine learning, very simple machine learning, maybe like a linear regression, and just show how that works. But if you have any suggestions or ideas, please post your ideas. I'm always more than happy to talk about what I know, right? So if I know about it, I can talk about it. If not, anything in the open source realm, that's really what I know. Again, thanks for watching. Check out the school. It's right here. Go to brawlmail.com to school, and you'll see all the tracks. And check out the Intrapreneur, which I'm still working on. I'm very excited about, and I'm very excited about seeing how the build part, this in the upper right there, how this whole class about starting with an idea and just completely building it up until it becomes a web application. Sorry, a mobile phone web application. That's super exciting. Again, thanks everybody.